Tesla price cuts anger owners who bought vehicles just before the massive discounts. By the way, these are actually some pretty massive discounts to the point where they get to the tax advantaged basically situation where they're at the price point where if you were to buy these vehicles, you're actually going to get a pretty hefty tax benefit. Like I think about like 7 grand or something, which makes it even comparable to like brand new like gas cars in a sense. So it actually makes it viable for a lot of people. And here's the thing, I completely understand why these owners are pissed off. Because imagine you basically paid a pretty hefty price for a Tesla, could not get a tax benefit, and then a week later or a month later, Tesla cuts the prices by a pretty hefty amount, and also these new owners, because if you were to buy a car right now, you could get the tax benefit. So they drop the price and you get multiple thousands of dollars in terms of like tax benefits, which is like it's kind of like a slap to the face and a backhand slap as well. So Elon Musk's recent decision to enact major price cuts for Tesla vehicles has reportedly angered customers who paid significantly more for the same models before the discounts took effect. Tesla slashed prices for some of its car models by up to 20% in mid January as it looks to stave off increased competition in the electric vehicle sector and boost sagging demand. The discounts also increased the number of buyers who are eligible for a $7,500 federal tax credit. The sharp price cuts meant Tesla owners who bought their cars just weeks earlier likely paid thousands of dollars more than those who waited until January. Vikas Khanna, a healthcare executive who bought a Tesla Model Y SUV in late December, told the Wall Street Journal that he missed out on about 5 grand in savings. Khanna, a longtime Tesla fan who bought two vehicles in the past, paid about $65,000 for his Model Y. Which I mean, to me personally, if I had like 65 grand cash just like lying around, in terms of like if I were to like put that into a car or some vehicle specifically, I would probably go more so personally a muscle car. I prefer muscle cars. That's just me. Let's see. It just reminded me and solidified why Tesla as an organization is one that I can no longer trust, kind of told the outlet. Kind of added that car pricing should be treated differently than other products that occasionally receive price cuts. You don't take out a loan for an iPhone, he added. The sad reality is that there are people out there that do take out loans for an iPhone. Or if you were to buy an iPhone using a credit card, you took out a loan to buy that iPhone. So it does happen. People do take out loans for an iPhone. Just saying. Another Tesla customer near Atlanta, Kapil Sharma, said he was denied a refund when he approached the company after buying a Model Y just 2 weeks before the discounts were implemented. Now, that is pretty messed up. 2 weeks before the discounts, and they basically like, nah, sales final. That's pretty horrible. We do not have a return policy and we do not price match or price adjust completed orders, the company told him, according to text reviewed by the Journal. Now, it's also going to be interesting too, because they cut the prices down by so much and also this tax advantage thing. What are used Teslas going to be going for now? Because previously, you had like used Teslas with like 30, 40, 50, even 60,000 miles worth potentially more than a brand new Tesla. So, what is the pre owned Tesla market going to be like now that the prices have just dramatically been cut? Elsewhere, a petition started by Tesla focused YouTuber Dennis Wang, which asked the company to offer free services to people who bought his vehicle last year ahead of the discounts, has garnered more than 6,000 signatures. Which, by the way, like this isn't really going to happen, right? The main reason why Tesla pretty much did this is so that they could basically get their entry models of each of those cars to hit that tax threshold so that people could get that tax benefit. Meaning more people would actually be able to buy their cars even though the economy is technically doing worse. So Tesla price cuts prompted similar outrage in China, where owners demanded refunds and staged a protest outside the company's Shanghai facility earlier this month. Owners have also grumbled about a decline in the value of used Tesla vehicles, prices of which plunged 17% from a peak of $67,297 in July to $55,754 in November, according to a recent Reuters report. Other used cars declined 4% over the same period. Musk addressed Tesla's pricing strategy during the company's earnings call last week, revealing Tesla has generated its strongest orders year to date than ever in our history in January. Price really matters. I think there's just a vast number of people that want to buy a Tesla car but can't afford it, Musk said. These price changes really make a difference for the average consumer. And this is the thing, I do have to agree with this because of this price cut combined with that tax benefit of 7500, you're having basically a entry model Tesla Model 3 in like I think the mid 3s or low 3 like mid 30s low 30s in terms of like a price point. Brand new cars for like comparable vehicles for similar capabilities are about that price. So would you go to like a gas powered car with similar capabilities but not really, less tech, less futuristic, etc., less acceleration? Because like I mean, I think the coolest thing about Tesla cars are the acceleration personally, but again, I would prefer a muscle car, just me personally. But the price point is now competitive with other vehicles. Whereas before, like some of these price points for these entry model cars were like 45, 50, $55,000, which is crazy. And Tesla shares have surged nearly 60% so far this year. In last quarter, the company reported a record profit of $3.7 billion. So let's see some of these comments. Ha ha, dot dot dot. That is how business work. Even if Tesla extended free services to those who missed the discount by 2 weeks, they would get complainers who missed the deadline by 3 weeks, and so on. Again, like exactly, this isn't going to happen. They're not going to extend free services. Every car becomes cheaper when new model year comes out, and when that happens, it varies by car. Even driving a car off the lot makes it lose value. Cars are depreciating assets. Sure, it is upsetting when anything becomes cheaper, but it happens every day. And that's the thing. The only reason why like pre-owned like Teslas were doing so well is because the demand for Teslas were so high, but the supply was so limited that you had pre-owned vehicles basically being like ten or even $20,000 more than if you were to just buy the car outright. Because also you had to potentially wait 6-7 months for you to even get your car. Be nice if F-250 prices dropped. Demand is huge, though, so not likely. People should have seen this coming. We're in a recession. Car manufacturers cut or raise prices all the time. Agreed. Clearly shows how overpriced Teslas and EVs in general have been. Does not pay to be first all the time. LOL! Exclamation point. I bought one as soon as they lowered the price. Between the price being lowered and the tax credit, I saved just over 27% out the door. I may even get another. In 5 years, you'll be crying the batteries are failing. Enjoy. I would not take one for free. The thing is, I don't have anything against Teslas. I think, here's the thing. If you had the money to just splurge on a vehicle, right? Whether it be a Tesla, muscle car in my opinion, a truck, whatever it is, as long as you can afford it, like as long as it's like half your yearly, like no more than half your yearly income, it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't really matter what vehicle you end up getting. That being said, the problem with Teslas isn't even necessarily the Tesla, it's people's reactions to Teslas. There's so many videos that exist of Tesla vehicles being attacked by random people. Like, so I would view it more so like these vehicles are like basically a magnet for people who just want to hate on it and actually do physical damage to it. Now, the good thing is Teslas do have the multi-camera thing, whatever, Sentry mode, whatever, which I think pretty much every car should have because there are some crazy drivers that exist out there, and it's just a good way to protect yourself and also help you in terms of like a car accident or anything. I think that's probably the best aspect to owning a Tesla is the Sentry mode that it gives you because you know what happened to your vehicle because you could just see it, you know? Musk is a genius in just about everything he does, including marketing. I'm sorry, we just can't make it any cheaper. Has become, well, look at there, we found a nice discount for yous. Suckers, there's one born every second. Like, here's the thing, right? If I was making like a crazy amount of money to the point where I could just buy a Tesla just for fun, I probably would, but I'd probably modify it, the look of it, because I personally think a wide bodied, basically like a Liberty walked Tesla Model 3 with a massive wing would actually probably look pretty cool. But I would only do that if I had so much excess cash that buying a Tesla and doing that to the Tesla, which probably would cost like 20 grand just to do the Tesla, would literally mean nothing to me. Like that amount of money would have to mean basically nothing to me. So, here's just something, my thoughts, whatever. If you want to learn how to get out of debt and learn how I got out of debt and grew my net worth, go down below. See you in future episodes.